Good morning, students. Today, let us continue the same topic, the summer of the beautiful white horse. From here, I continued down the road, and my cousin Moraid went across the field toward the irrigation ditch. It took him half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. All right, he said, jump on. The whole world is awake now. What will we do? I said. Well, he said, we will either take him back or hide him until tomorrow morning. He didn't sound worried, and I knew he would hide him and not take him back. Not for a while, at any rate. Where will we hide him? I said. I know a place, he said. How long ago did you steal this horse? I said. It suddenly dawned on me. Dawned on me means that an idea struck to him that he had been taking these early morning rides for some time and had come for me this morning only because he knew how much I longed to ride. Dear students, don't means here appeared. Explanation of the above passage is Aram looked for the horse down the road and Moraid went towards the irrigation ditch. He came back after 30 minutes with the horse. He told him to jump over as the whole world was awake by then. Aram asked what would they do now, to which Moray told him about two options: take him back or hide him until tomorrow. Moraid was not worried, and Aram knew that Moraid would hide him somewhere and not take him back for a while. Aram asked him where Moraid would hide him. Moraid told him about a place he knew which would be perfect as a hidden spot. Aram eagerly asked him when he stole the horse. It appeared to him that Moraid had been taking the horse for morning rides for quite some time, and he showed up this morning to ask Aram to ride along because he knew he was longing to ride one. Who said anything about stealing a horse? These are the further lines from the textbook. He said, anyhow, I said, how long ago did you begin riding every morning? Not until this morning, he said. Are you telling the truth? I said. Of course not, he said, but if we are found out that's what you are to say, I don't want both of us to be liars. All you know is that we started riding this morning. All right, I said. He walked the horse quietly to the barn of deserted vineyard, which at one time had been the pride of a farmer named Fitzwilson. There were some oats and dry alfalfa in the barn. So these are the names of the crop. We began walking home. It wasn't easy, he said, to get the horse to behave so nicely. At first it wanted to run wild, but as I have told you, I have a way with a horse. I can get it to want to do anything I want it to do. Horses understand me. Alfalfa means here a flowering plant. Explanation of the above passage is Murad shuts him down by asking a counter question, means cross question, about who talks about stealing a horse. Aram tried to change the question by asking him since how long was the riding the horse every morning. Murad told him that morning was the first time. Aram wasn't convinced and asked him if he was telling the truth. Murad said if anyone asked Aram, he should say that it was true. He further added that he didn't want them to be liars, but they had to say only this. Aram agreed, and Murad walked the horse quietly towards the barn of a deserted vineyard. It belonged to a farmer named Fitzwilson. The barn had some oats and alfalfa. They started walking home. Murad told Aram that it was not easy to get the horse to behave nicely as it wanted to run wild at first. He told him again that he had a way with a horse and he could get them to do whatever he wants to. Horses understood him. So you can say that cousin Murad, he was knowing the way how to handle the horse and even other people also. Further lines from the textbook are, how do you do it? I said. I have an understanding with a horse, he said. Yes, but what sort of an understanding? I said. A simple and honest one, he said. Well, I said, I wish I knew how to reach an understanding like that with a horse. You are still a small boy, he said. When you get to be 13, you will know how to do it. I went home and ate a hearty breakfast. Hearty breakfast means here that because they were having uh, full hunger, so they were hungry, and that's why whatever they ate, it took him very tasty. Explanation of the above passage is that afternoon my uncle Khosrow came to our house for coffee and cigarettes. So these are the lines of the textbook further. He sat in the parlor. Parlor means here sitting room. Sipping and smoking and remembering the old country. Then another visitor arrived, a farmer named John Byro, an Assyrian who, out of loneliness, had learned to speak Armenian. My mother brought the lonely visitor coffee and tobacco, and he rolled a cigarette and sipped and smoked. And then at last, sighing sadly, he said, my white horse, which was stolen last month, is still gone. I cannot understand it. My uncle Khosrow became very irritated and shouted, it's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse? Parlor means a sitting space in a house. Explanation of the above lines or passage is, Aram amusingly asked him how he controlled the horse, to which Murad said, he has an understanding with the horse. Aram asked him what sort of understanding did he have with him, to which Murad told him, a simple and honest one. Aram confessed he would also like to know how to have an understanding with a horse. Murad assured Aram by saying that he is still a small boy. He will learn when he will be 13. Aram went home and ate breakfast. That day his uncle Khosrow visited his house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlor and was remembering the old country when a person came to visit him. He was John Byro, a farmer who learned to speak Armenian because of loneliness. His mother bought Byro some coffee and tobacco. He sipped and smoked and told them about his missing white horse who was stolen last month and he is not able to find it. Khosrow roared again that it's no harm and shouted that he was crying over a lost horse when they had lost their homeland. Further lines are from the textbook. That may be all right for you, a city dweller. Dweller means the resident. To say, John Byro said, but what of my surrey? Surrey, a kind of vehicle in which horse is to be used in order to draw it. What good is a surrey without a horse? Pay no attention to it, my uncle Khosrow ruled. I walked 10 miles to get here, John Byro said. You have legs, my uncle Khosrow shouted. My left leg pains me, the farmer said. Pay no attention to it, my uncle Khosrow roared. That horse cost me $60, the farmer said. I spit on money, my uncle Khosrow said. He got up and stalked out of the house, slamming the screen door. Screen means front door. My mother explained. He has a gentle heart, she said. It is simply that he is homesick and such a large man. The farmer went away and I ran over to my cousin Murad's house. He was sitting under a peach tree, trying to repair the hurt wing of a young robin. Robin is the name of the bird, which could not fly. He was talking to the bird. What is it? He said. The farmer John Byro, I said. He visited our house. He wants his horse. You have had it a month. I want you to promise not to take it back until I learn to ride. So, earlier, perhaps we could have thought that he would say that just to return it, but here the things got changed all of a sudden. So, dear students, city dweller means here a person who lives in a city. Surrey means a country in southeast England where the people most of the time they use a cart driven by or drawn by horse. So John replied to Khosrow that he would not bother as he lives in a city, but his country was of no good without his horse. Khosrow shouted that he must not pay any attention to it. John told him that he walked down 10 miles to come here. Khosrow shouted that he has legs, to which John said his left legs hurt. Khosrow again tried to shut him down by saying that he should not pay any attention to it. John shared that the horse cost him $60. Khosrow said he would spit on the money, after which John got up and went away, slamming the door. Aram's mother told him that John had a gentle heart as he was homesick and he was a large man. Aram went to Mored. He was sitting under a peach tree talking to a robin bird. He was repairing the wing that was hurt. Aram told him about John Barrow and how he visited their house and he wanted his horse. Aram asked him not to return the horse until he learns to ride it. So, dear students, further lines from the textbook are: It will take you a year to learn to ride, my cousin Murid said. We could keep the horse a year, I said. My cousin Murid leaped to his feet. What? He roared. Are you inviting a member of the Garoglanian family to steal? The horse must go back to its true owner. When I said, in 6 months at least, he said. He threw the bird into the air. The bird tried hard, almost fell twice, but at last flew away, high and straight. Early every morning for 2 weeks, my cousin Moraid and I took the horse out of the barn of the deserted vineyard where we were hiding it and rode it. And every morning the horse, when it was my turn to ride alone, leaped over grapevines and small trees and threw me and ran away. Nevertheless, I hoped in time to learn to ride the way my cousin Moraid rode. One morning on the way to Fitzwilliam's deserted vineyard, we ran into the farmer, John Byro, who was on his way to town. Let me do the talking, my cousin Moraid said. I have a way with farmers. Moraid told Aram that it will take him a whole year to learn to ride a horse. Aram said they could keep him for a year then. Moraid stood up on his feet and shouted at him about encouraging him to be a thief in spite of being a member of the Garugulanin family. He declared that the horse should go to his true owner. Aram asked when would they have to return the horse, to which Moraid said in 6 months. He threw the bird into the air. It almost fell twice but flew at last. For the next 2 weeks, they both would take the horse out of the barn and ride it. But every morning the horse would throw Aram and run away whenever he tried to ride it. He still hoped he would learn to ride it the way his cousin did. Once on the way to the deserted vineyard to hide the horse again, they met John Byro, who was on his way to town. Moraid insisted on talking to him as he had a way with farmers. So, dear students, this is the explanation of the above passage. Today, let us have only these explanations, and further explanations will be made in the next lectures. Thank you, students.